clear, just couldn't quite get it done.
Your teammate Bell said he was on edge when he was spun both those times. How on edge were you and your car as well?
I thought my car was really, really stable. Truthfully, I was a little too tight all day. I felt like that was what was keeping us from being the best. And there at the end, coming to the white flag, that was the first time I really got like big time sideways all day long. So yeah, I think part of the reason why Bell was as fast as he was is he was probably a little freer than us, and it just made the difference. Obviously when he was out by himself, but that's also probably why he spun out too. So yeah, just a tough situation to be in.
If you had not gotten big time sideways chases, you just said you still could have raced him that last lap.
I don't know. I mean, he was doing such a good job of just pinning me so tight that I couldn't really do a whole lot. But yeah, I mean, certainly as I ran, I felt like if I could have stayed there one more lap, I don't know. It's so hard to say, right? I mean, I was 2-3 inches away from clearing him a couple times and just could never get it done. So yeah, I don't know. Denny was probably the best car, so it was going to be hard to just pass him.
That way, they're about to bring the car
I couldn't do it, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely think if it wasn't a teammate, I could have done a lot of things different to potentially win the race. Yeah, I didn't want to screw one of the JGR cars.
How different was the new tire?
I mean, it's hard for me to even talk about just because the stuff I'm driving now is so drastically different than what I was driving before. I honestly can't even comment on it.
Did the restart feel similar to the opening of the race with no rubber on the track, being on the front row?
A little bit. It was just different. I'm on 2 tires, and at that point of the race, I know exactly what my car's capable of. Where at the beginning, you don't really know, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It was somewhat similar, but just the pace was so the last restart, I drove wide open through 1 and 2, and I never would have done that at the beginning of the race. So, yeah, just similar, but not quite apple to apple.
Were you surprised that LA gave you the top?
I was blown away. Yeah, that was a gift. I got 2 gifts, honestly. Reddick, the first one, he took the inside and allowed me to take the outside, which being on tires, it just let me go to the 3rd lane and pass a ton of guys, and then have a run. So that was the first gift, and then I was blown away that I got the outside of the 2nd row, and I don't know what the thought. I guess a little bit of the thought process was probably the 5 car started on the inside 2nd row, the restart 4, and came out running 2nd. So I'm sure that was on his mind. But yeah, for me on tires, I wanted to be on the top just because I felt like it gave me a bigger advantage.
So how different second to last one? You just gave Denny a huge push in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can push him out, then I'll get clear.
Yeah, I knew the odds of me winning from 4th. I mean, I knew there was a chance, right? But I knew that for a JGR car to win, if I just shoved him as hard as I could, he was going to get clear, and nobody was going to pass him if he was completely clear. The only chance of him losing the race was if he was side by side with somebody, kind of similar to the last restart. So yeah, I just hit him as hard as I could. I told him, my spotter on the restart, coming to the restart, hey, just tell Denny I'm going to bump him as hard as I can and get him going, and it obviously worked out.
How different did this place race in July versus April or May like usually?
I mean, like I said, it's hard to say just because what I'm driving is not even comparable, right? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it's fun because it is so. I honestly thought it was going to be slicker today than what it was, but I do feel like the track widened out maybe a little bit more. I don't know. It's just hard because it is so different from what I'm used to driving here. But yeah, I thought it was enjoyable. We were definitely slipping and sliding around over there.